are scored on reading comprehension through their writing. Doesn't matter how good their reading comprehension is. If they can't articulate it in writing, we're going to lose these points. They are assessed in reading through their writing. So we've got to spend explicit time teaching it. This is where a lot of schools and districts, I think, have done a bang-up job getting consistent. This is when the acronyms started to surface. RACE, ACE, RAP, RACER, Yes Ma'am, and who knows how many others. I love the notion of formulaic constructed response writing. Well, formula writing is bad. No. Here's what these kids have to do. In a very small window, in 6 short lines, they got to do a whole lot of work in a very little time and space. I need sufficient, efficient, succinct, relevant, coherent writing. They got to do a lot in a little bit of space. A formula helps ensure it. What do we mean by a formula? What are we looking at? Well, let me start with those that aren't yes ma'am, and then I'm going to root it in yes ma'am in particular, but I'm not saying that that's the one you should use. It's just the one we use in Smekid's world. All right, I'm going to drop down here for a minute and look at race and rap and a few other pieces to this. All right, some schools teach their students when you get a constructed response. Okay, I'm talking just constructed responses on these pages for a little bit. When you get a constructed response, you should restate part of the question and give your answer. Okay, and that's your first sentence. Restate part of the question and give your answer, right? Answer being the inference. Say the inference. Okay, then cite your evidence, give your examples, whatever it is, and then explain it. And so then this is where the author details come in, right? The author details, the citing evidence. This is me and my thinking. Me and my thinking has to make the inference. The author details that I'm citing. And then we want them to explain their inference and their evidence, how they fit. Explain how they fit together. And so a lot of schools are teaching race. Some are adding another R for racer. Okay, now reread what you wrote. Does it make sense? I love it. It makes total sense. Okay, other schools go a rap approach. Restate and answer the question. That's your first sentence. Okay, answer the question with your inference, right? Your opinion, your conclusion, your prediction, whatever it is. Okay, and then here comes the evidence. Then your next couple sentences are your author details, where you are proving with textual evidence that your inference is accurate. But there is no explain. They don't have that last sentence. Okay, I utilize yes, ma'am. After teaching Sarah Ambler, a teacher at Break a Day Elementary, after teaching her staff about write their questions, think and search questions, and all these test questions are author and me questions, teaching that and doing a training with her staff and talking through the 4 parts where I simply had restate it and then give the details and then explain. She came back the next day. It was a 2-day training, and Sarah Ambler said, I'm going to teach my kids yes, ma'am. See, me and my thinking, and then the author details, and me, I got to give an explanation. And the ma'am, that's the test lady. Every time the test lady gives us a constructed response, we answer, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am.